Hey everyone, what's up? I'm Max Patton and I'm here today with a different kind of video. It's not fitness related, but it is very much technology related. A lot of people say that you should shoot on an iPhone because, well, iPhones just produce great video and that cameras in many ways are obsolete. And I have an interesting take on this because I don't think those people are wrong, but I also think you're missing a really big point if you just assume this narrative that smartphones are the future of all kind of photography and videography, and that we're just fooling ourselves with cameras. Because, well, of course I'm biased, I'm filming this here on a camera, but I film every day for work with my iPhone. I use it because I work for a YouTube channel. It works incredibly well for fast timelines, for getting work done, because let's just face it, the image quality it produces is great. It has great sensors, great optics, but chiefly great processing. This is why Apple has such a huge advantage over even Android phones, and that's why I'm saying iPhone in this video. Sure, plenty of Android phones film great video, but iPhones film incredible video because Apple has really good software processing, a lot of smarts, and they just tend to give you a really nicely balanced image. But I don't think it's a perfect image, and there are some things that Apple does that bug me and are kind of chiefly why I film still on real cameras. So I'll just get this out of the way really quickly. Let's say you're not a camera nerd. Let's say you want to make a YouTube channel, and this video is mainly concerned about video, but let's say you want to film video and you don't really care that much about cameras and you have a budget of less than $2,000. Do film on an iPhone. The iPhone is going to produce incredible image quality. And it's a little more complicated than that. I have some tips about iPhone videography I might get into in future videos, but generally the image that you're going to get straight out of camera on an iPhone is fantastic, especially the latest models. The stabilization on them is incredibly good. The exposure, all this stuff that's done automatically is really smart. But let's say you do like the process of camera stuff, or you're a photographer maybe, or you already have camera gear. You want to experiment, you want to learn and practice with exposure and other kind of filming techniques. Well, I'm not going to say don't film on an iPhone, because sometimes it's legitimately a really handy tool. But I would really consider getting up to speed with video and cameras, because it's not always just about the best image. I do think legitimately cameras are still at a point where a large sensor, full frame, let's say like Sony, Panasonic, Canon camera, can absolutely produce a nicer image than an iPhone. It can do, depth of field that's shallow with a blurry background that iPhones are trying to simulate right now with computational videography, but can't quite achieve. And I have no doubt that phones, including iPhones and Android phones, will get better and better at that as time goes on. But the manual control, the principles of photography, of light, of everything that goes into filming that you learn filming on a real camera is, I think, a really valuable skill. It's kind of like you're in an engineering class and you're like, why do I have to do these calculations by hand? Why can't I just do everything on an Inspire? Well, at a certain advanced level, sure, you can use a Texas Instruments calculator, or I don't know, whatever it is engineers use. But when you're learning the basics, you really want to know how to do it manually. And I would argue the same is true for cameras. You get the most out of modern cameras by using your own intelligence instead of the artificial intelligence and software that's built into something like a phone. Now, that's not to, again, cut short what the phones do. For people who don't care about the process, who just want to make content, who aren't concerned about the ultimate quality, of course, phones are incredible. And I'm not going to deny that smartphones are an incredible tool, particularly for video, photography too. But that's another subject. But I think applying your own intelligence is a general purpose skill that we as humans still, I think, need, because there's all kinds of domains where everyone's talking about how AI is taking over, and certainly it is. And some things it's incredibly good. I mean, if you've ever had a conversation with ChatGPT or generated an image with DALL-E or Stable Diffusion or tools like that, you can see the incredible stuff AI is capable of doing. But it's artificial intelligence. It's a facsimile of intelligence. I'm not saying that to denigrate AI and the whole industry. Obviously, that's incredible. I'm sure that's the future of a lot of technology, but we're humans. We make creative decisions. And the more that we, I think, use our own principles and knowledge and practice in what we do, the more I think we benefit. And that's why in this domain, in filming, I think there's a benefit to using a real camera. Now, I do want to make videos on shooting on iPhone because let's say you're out in the wilderness, you want a small tool that just does everything quickly. iPhones are great. In fact, in some cases, I think they're legitimately better than GoPros and other dedicated, cameras that may have their own advantages, but fall short of the iPhone's incredible image processing. But just to give another example of another domain, Porsche, sports car maker, legendary, right? They make cars that have manual transmissions, but also what's called a Porsche a Porsche automatic, or a PDK. Now that stands for a very long German word that I'm not going to try to pronounce here, but the PDK is Porsche's automated kind of dual clutch transmission. It's an automatic basically. It shifts gears for you, and it is objectively faster and better than basically any human driver. It's incredibly intelligent. It actually knows the topography of where you are in the world, so it can predict hills and know what's coming up in terrain and use that to shift the transmission of the car in advance. It's really capable on a racetrack. It just gets the car going really quickly. But guess what? A lot of people still buy Porsche sports cars with manual transmissions. Why? They're not crazy. They know the car's slower, but they have more fun and more engagement with that process. And so I guess the thesis of this video is that you can love process and that's okay. And I think in the world of cameras, love of process and a dedication to it, and let's be honest, a sizable budget can absolutely produce a better quality product than a smartphone. Now, I think that gap is ever shortening every year. Smartphones are getting better, so on. But learning that process is a skill that's invaluable in many domains. You know, the satisfaction of driving a manual. You know, maybe you don't care about that. That's totally fine. But in my case, video. I love filming video. I love the process of it. And so I think we shouldn't discount that and just say, you know, make a dumb tweet like, just always shoot on an iPhone. iPhones are better. I hate hot takes like that. In this video is kind of a long, rambly response to takes like that. But I hope that inspires some thought. And I do want to make videos about how to film on an iPhone, how to do it well. So if you want to see that, let me know. But hopefully these rambly thoughts meant something to you. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.